Hello explorers, it's Keto Explorer here and welcome back to my channel. Last week on last Saturday, I took you behind the scenes and showed you what I did as a photographer directly after a photo shoot. So remember last week, I came back and I organized my photos on my computer. I went through them, did some soft editing, and I sent them to the client and had them select which proofs they wanted me to do more editing on. So this week, I am going to take you on the next step of this process where I actually take the photos that the person has selected from their proofs and get them ready for editing. So let's head to my computer and see what we do next. But just a reminder, make sure if you have not already, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. It's free, so you might as well. And on my channel, I talk about all things travel, photography, and the environment. And videos come out on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Except for right now, they come out every day through December 25th because it's Vlogmas 2021. All right, now let's go to the computer. The client has chosen their favorites and I was notified via email, but sometimes clients don't do that and they just send me a message via email or Airbnb. I have clicked on the link in my email and it has taken me over to the favorite section of the album of my client where it shows the 5 photos she would like additional editing on. As you can see here, the file names are listed for each of the photos. And so I'm going to take those file names and write them down in a notepad so I can keep track of those photos that I need to edit and need to put into PSD, which is Photoshop format. And the rest of the photos, since they weren't selected as favorites, I will make sure the names aren't what are on my list and I will save those as is to put in a folder for photos not selected for editing. In the next step, I go into Lightroom where I already have all the photos that I sent as proofs to the client still in a folder or in a collection in Lightroom. So I open up this collection and I actually go through with my notebook on the side and rate all of the photos that she selected. So the 5 photos she selected as 5-star. So it's easy for me to find them. Now that I have selected all of the photos, I go through the ones that I have rated with 5-star just to make sure I selected the correct photos for editing that she selected in her favorites on ShootProof. And if I didn't select the correct ones, then I go back and make sure I remove that one as I did here and add the photo that should be rated as a 5-star. Now that the 5 photos that I have rated as 5-star match the 5 photos the client has favorited in ShootProof, I go ahead and export these 5 photos to PSD format or format for Photoshop. I save them in a folder called For Editor under a folder named specifically for the client. I remove any sharpening and I remove any watermarks and I go ahead and export these photos. I actually work with an editor. I have an editor that I use for hire. They charge per photo, usually starting at $1.80 per photo, which is included in my rate that I charge clients for photo shoots. And I use an editor because I do have a lot of things, like YouTube, a full-time job and all this stuff. So it definitely saves time. And also previously my MacBook was really slow and now I do have a new MacBook, so that may help me with editing in the future, but I just could not take on editing high volumes of photo in a short time period. So I do take these photos and put them in PSD format and send it to the editor, which I will show you shortly. Now that I have the 5 that were favorited saved off in PSD format, I go back and save the remaining photos that were not selected for additional editing into a folder under the client's folder called Not Selected for Additional Editing or Not Selected for Editing or whatever, something along those lines, right? And I do put those in JPEG format. I do have output sharpening, usually do glossy paper standard, and I do remove any watermarks as well. So I will export those and have those ready, because I do send the client the light edited photos, which I consider not editing, and the final photos edited that they selected. Now I'm in ShootProof again, and I'm going to create a gallery for the photos not selected for additional editing, and put the shoot date for these photos, and upload all of the photos that I saved to JPEG and Lightroom into this gallery. Now, while those photos are uploading to ShootProof, I'm going to go over to WeTransfer and transfer the 5 photos that need additional editing to my editor, which is ImageWorks India. And it took me a long time to find this editor. I tested out editing with several different companies, and this one works well for me. They usually get the photos back within 2 days, if not sooner, depending on how many photos you need editing. And I'm going to upload these Photoshop files into WeTransfer. I will put my email, their email, and I will usually name the transfer, the date that I'm transferring the photos. And I'm just copying over what I usually say. I say the same thing on every single transfer, that I want the photos edited at a certain rate, so they know what type of editing I'm looking for. But I also will put a description of what they should be looking for when they go to edit each photo. So I'll put some notes, if applicable, for each of the photo files, so they can edit those things as well. Okay, so that is the process. And so next Saturday, we're going to go on the last step of the process. I'm going to walk you through it. And during this process, we're going to get the final photos back from the editor and send it off to the client. Very simple process. And that's going to be it. So make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you have the subscribe button hit. Leave any questions you have down below about this process. Make sure you hit the like button, and make sure you share this video with your friends, family, and social media networks. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day or night wherever in the world you are. Bye.